Hey guys, it's Tim, and this is Wrestling Unlimited, as it's Wednesday, and that means tonight was AEW Dynamite. As far as tonight's AEW Dynamite does go, I will say it was an easy show to watch, but I still have so many questions. So many questions on why different things are happening that they still haven't fully answered. And if you read the title of this podcast, you read the title of this Dynamite review, my question is, are the BCC just the new nWo? Because they kind of just did an nWo beatdown angle, not once, but twice on this show. They did one in the ring, then they did one in the back, leading to them running off and driving away, where they ended up getting a laugh out of everything. Like, we'll get to it when we get to it, and we'll talk about it, and we'll break it all down and everything, but it's like, I saw so many things that reminded me of those early nWo beatdown angles. You've got like the smaller lucha guy jumping off something high. You got other guys just punching these guys. They're taking none of it, no selling it, and then just beating them down. Like, who was it? Maybe it was Action Andretti. No, it might have been John Silver. One of that. It all got a little confused. Actually, hold on. I got a screenshot of it, so I can actually go back and look. Hold on. It was John Silver. He goes up on Moxley, and he's in Moxley's chest, and he's like, bah, 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 punching Moxley. Moxley takes none of it, grabs him by the head, and just like hits him a couple times, just shoves him down. Just no sells it. It's like, that's Nash all over again. No selling everybody's everything. And then they just take off. And it's like, is this what we really want? There's been so many comparisons of AEW to WCW, and not in a good way. Not in a good way. But then we're still doing this stuff. It's like, this is not what we want. Yeah, the nWo angle was cool when it happened in the 90s. Yeah, people still think the nWo are cool because they were different. They were ahead of the time. But now trying to redo it, I don't know about that. And it's the same stuff. When Hall and Nash first came in as the outsiders, it was, we got a group, we got a third man, me, him, and the other guy, and we're going to take over. What is Moxley saying? I got a group, it's me, her, and these other guys, and we're going to take over. Nash and Hall were saying it all the time. It's us against everybody. Well, that's what Moxley said tonight. It's us against everybody. You're part of AEW, you're against us, basically. We're literally redoing the nWo. I mean, Tony already has his WCW 2.0, where the best wrestle. What does that sound like? Where the big boys play. Come on. Do you want to be Eric Bischoff or something, Tony Khan? Like, I don't know. I get it. Everyone keeps saying, let it play out. Let it play out. But it's been going on for, what, a month and a half now? Maybe almost 2, since Moxley returned in that Tony Schiavone angle, or interview, I mean, and was just like, I'm taking over. This is not your AEW anymore. And, yeah. I don't get it. I don't know where it's going, and they're not giving us any hints, clues, or answers. And then Wheeler Yuta, who was very hesitant to do anything in favor of the BCC on Saturday, is now just fully with them, is just fully converted. He's just, okay, sure. Gets in there and just starts beating down Orange Cassidy. Then he's fighting with everybody in the back, and he's the one that jumps in the truck and is like, hitting the back window, let's go. All of a sudden, he's been fully converted over now. Because remember, even on Saturday, he ran down with Darby and checked on Bryan until eventually he attacked Darby, because the way it made it look was, you're either with us or against us, you're better off with us. Now it's just, this guy should have just been with them the whole time. What was that dumb against them at all anyway? Like, I don't get it. And it's not the kind of, because at first it was, oh, I'm intrigued, where's this going? I want answers, I'll watch next week. Now it's, okay, you jumped the shark, you chickens come to roost. You've dragged it out so long without any answers or any hints, teases of what this could be. What now? It's not the intrigue of, ooh, I got to see next week to get more follow-up. It's the, are we even going to get some goddamn follow-up? Are they even going to tell us what this actually is? Or are we going to have to wait another month? That's just not what we want. So, again, we'll let it play out. But you couldn't say that so long before you just get burnt out. But with that, I want to say thank you for joining us here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Actually, it's not Google Pod anymore. Now it's YouTube Music, but whatever. Remember, if you are watching live on Twitch, you can help us out a couple of different ways. You can hit that donate button down below or donate Twitch bits in the live chat. Remember, donating Twitch bits are the best way to get your comment, question, or concern read live on the air on Twitch. Also, remember, on Twitch, you can support the channel one of two different ways. You can either support with a tiered subscription, or you can subscribe with Amazon Prime. Because remember, if you have Amazon Prime, then you have Prime Gaming. Prime Gaming gives you a lot of cool things like free games, free stuff for games, and you always get one free subscription to any Twitch channel you want to subscribe to throughout the month. And I'd greatly appreciate it if you did right here, Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Also, remember, you can help us out over on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. That way you know when we post new videos. That way you know when we go live. And that way you know when we post to the community tab. Also, remember, you can support the channel another way by hitting the join button and becoming a channel member. Even if you do so at just the $1 tier, we greatly, greatly appreciate it, whether that's here on YouTube or patreon.com/PW Unlimited. Also, remember, on YouTube, if you want to get your comment, question, or concern read live on the air, you could do so by donating a super chat in the live chat. And finally, head over to the Epic Game Store. Head over to the Epic Game Store and buy something. Whether you're buying a new game, whether you're buying an old game, whether you're claiming a free game or getting bucks for Rocket League, Fortnite, or Fall Guys, use this code right here, PW Unlimited, at checkout, and you will be supporting us at no extra cost. Maybe you're getting God of War Ragnarok that's new on PC. There's a new update for Hades 2. It's in early access. You might want to play it. I've heard great things. I've played Hades 1, haven't played Hades 2. Or you're getting into that new stuff for Fortnite. Because remember, Fortnite Mare is here. We got a bunch of spooky stuff in Fortnite. We got a bunch of spooky stuff for Fall Guys. So use this code, PW Unlimited, PWU NLIMITED, for all Epic Games and Epic Game Store purchases. But with all of that, as far as AEW Dynamite does go, Dynamite comes on the air with footage of the BCC leaving Wrestle Dream after Jon Moxley won the AEW World title. While driving off, Moxley said that he's the only one responsible. People think they know what motivates him. They know nothing. No shit. We know nothing. He said he has a dream about a land of opportunity. Moxley said wrestling gave him an opportunity and wants that for the 150 others under contract. I think it's a little more than 150, but whatever. He said that he hates what AEW has become. Egos out of control, dancing and partying when there's no need for it. Moxley will burn down the forest to build a new one. They will do what has to be done in order for there to be a better future. You don't want to come with? Run while you can, but get out of the way. What's the need to know? What's the new paradigm? It's simple. You work for me now. No, they work for Tony fucking Khan. And in turn, Christopher Daniels kinda, and I guess the EVP. This is so dumb. We need a conflicted Wheeler. We see a conflicted Wheeler Yuta riding off with them in the back of the truck. Yeah, he wasn't conflicted 30, 45 minutes later when they're beating people down. It's like, come on. You work for me now? Why? Because you're the champ? Why? Because the boss is afraid of you, the real owner? Like, I have no clue where this is going. Again, it's WC. I know I sound dumb. I'm a repeated, I'm a record on repeat, however you say it. What are the odds that in the end, this is all Tony Khan in control and it's really the nWo? And it's really Tony being Eric Bischoff? Where it's like, yeah, you know me, Eric Bischoff, president of the company. Oh, I'm with these guys. And then what huh? Let's do a little rewind for a second. Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. Let's do a little rewind for a second. Remember back months ago when Tony Khan was attacked by the Elite and we thought they were going to do a takeover angle? They took out Tony Khan. They had all these feuds and this and that, and they feuded with Darby, and then Darby came back, and then we had this stuff where they feuded with the BCC. They had Anarchy in the Arena. We had Blood and Guts and all of that. And then it kind of just died. And then Mox came back and kind of did what we thought the Bucks were doing. What? Think about that. Think about that. We had a similar storyline earlier this year, a takeover storyline, where the BCC were the good guys. And now we have another takeover storyline just a few short months later, where Moxley and the BCC are now the ones trying to do it. I'm flabbergasted by all of this. Like, what? And don't tell me, oh, it's just going to lead to the BCC and the Elite merging to make one supergroup. That would be the dumbest fucking shit ever. Because the Elite, on a close of course with Kenny Omega, we see it coming. They teased it tonight. Kenny teased it with Tanahashi a couple weeks ago, maybe a week and a half ago. So I don't know where any of this is going, and it's frustrating. Not the kind of frustrating where it's like, ooh, got to watch next week, see where the follow-up is. It's the, okay, you've pitter-pattered along far enough. Give us some tea leaves, give us some hints, give us something. And the Adam Cole stuff we got tonight was no better of the, why is he a heel or a babyface all of a sudden? Why is he coming back? I love the fans. Everything's good, but I hate MJF. Well, no, MJF should hate you, the devil. So it's like, I don't know, but let's get into that. Adam Cole comes out. Great reaction from the crowd in San Jose, California. Cole gets a massive pop and prepares the crowd as he says, it's story time with Adam Cole, baby. Then they just say, hey, Roddy, hey, Kingdom, and adjacently Wardlow, you guys are fucked because you ain't part of whatever this new Adam Cole storyline is. He says, I'm proud of y'all, but what I'm going to do next, I got to do by myself. I want to do it on my own. So they made this group of Adam Cole and the Undisputed Kingdom. Adam Cole, Roderick Strong, Mike Bennett, Matt Taven, Wardlow, only to just, and I get it. Plans changed because Adam Cole got hurt and was gone for a year. But it's like, these guys have just been sitting, pitter-pattering, pondering, doing really nothing, waiting for Adam Cole, kind of. And then they're just like, we're not going to, no, we're done. Those guys were geeks, dweebs, nothings, nerds for so long. Anyways, he says, the truth be told, he doesn't think folks want to hear about, but instead, you want to hear about the worst human being on the world, or in the world, MJF. Life is filled with good versus evil. Excuse me. Life is filled with good versus evil. Well, last time we saw you, bucko, you were the evil. He said he's learned during his time off, sometimes you have to battle evil with evil. So, you heel? Babyface? You're a babyface. MJF will tell you, Cole broke a promise or trust. Without trust, there's no foundation. Adam Cole might be lots of things, but stupid isn't one of them. Anyone who thinks you can trust MJF is stupid. The MJF we see now is the real MJF, the one who terrorized AEW for 5 years, despite saying he cares about them. If Cole could describe MJF in one word, it's fake. 2 surgeries for the hair on his head and his brash attitude, despite being a scared little boy. Cole tells everyone in the arena, go trash MJF on social media, as he'll act like he doesn't care, but he'll cry in his hotel room instead. MJF is a phony who can't be trusted, and everyone in the back agrees with him. AEW has the best wrestlers in the world and guys who will be the future, making them the best company in the world. It makes Cole sick that these young guys look at MJF and think he's the path of success, despite it being a path of failure and loneliness. I don't know about that. Cole said, with every fiber of his being, everyone hates MJF. Let's not waste any more time. So Cole calls out MJF. And it's like, failure and loneliness. This guy's making millions off this company. He's filming movies with Adam Sandler. Got another movie with Justin Long and Ron Perlman coming up. And he's in a relationship with Alicia Toot, who they're on Twitter saying, yeah, we bang all the time, basically. Yeah, that ain't failure and loneliness. Like, literally, I don't know if you guys saw Alicia 2 put out a photo of her in her outfit that she wore to Wrestle Dream and was like, I don't know verbatim, but she was like saying, basically, I slayed in this dress. And hold on. No, I got to read it verbatim because it's, hold on. I want to do it justice. Pull it up on the screen. Here it is. So she put out this. It said, I wasn't fucking around with this outfit. MJF then responds with, would bang 10 out of 10. She then responds with, let me see. Oh, I got to go to her thing and find her response. So many people responded on it. She responded with, does bang 10 out of 10. That's failure and lonely? Sign me up, bud. Sign me up. A great relationship like that. No, I'm not saying, I got a thing for Alicia too. She's a very attractive woman, but it's like to be in a relationship like that, to have a, bond where you're so close, you just say shit like that on the internet and don't even care. I don't call that failure or success or loneliness. But MJF's music plays. Never comes out though. Instead, we cut to a video of MJF looking like he's in a cabin in front of a fireplace. He talks about his gains over his career, how he's become a multi-millionaire at such a young age. A lot of jackals in pro wrestling when you're at the top. So they can chew you up and spit you out. Sometimes, or something MJF promised would never happen again till Adam Cole came into his life. Cole stabbed him in the back and left a void that will never let MJF trust again. It's not MJF's fault that he's like this. It's Cole's. MJF knows Cole wants revenge, but it's not ever going to happen. So he'll keep dangling the carrot, leaving Cole with a void. Something he could thank MJF for later. So MJF's even out here going, bro, you're the one that turned on me. You're the one that brought me in, said we're going to be brochachos, we're going to be best friends, and then turned on me. MJF ain't wrong. Am I right? MJF ain't wrong. But Cole's the baby now? Cole's the baby face now? Cole said that MJF can run, but he can't hide. And promises when he gets his hands on MJF, he'll get the ass beating of a lifetime and wishes they never met. Okay. Cool. Also, MJF wasn't there because he had to go film more stuff for Happy Gilmore too. He was telling people that over the weekend. Yeah. So Renee Paquette's backstage, Chris Jericho. This is a pre-tape from this past Saturday after Wrestle Dream. Jericho says that he felt vindicated. Jericho said that he's in the #1 movie in America, Terrifier 3, and Fozzy is on tour across the country selling out venues. He was going to become the nWo, but Briscoe cheated, so he wants a rematch. And I'm like, wait, Chris. You cheated first. His cheating was just to combat and stop your cheating. Anyways, Jericho wants to become a 2-time ROH champion, just like Briscoe. Jay Briscoe, that is. We got to a live interview, though, with Mark Briscoe. Mark's like, Jericho, it ain't over. I know we say a lot of dumb stuff, but I want to fight you again, and I'll put this title on the line. So how about we fight for the ROH World title right here next week in a ladder war? And I'm like, oh, damn. Hot damn. Yeah, give me a ladder war. Jericho, Mark Briscoe in a ladder match for the ROH World title. I'm here for it. Sign me up. That match should be really fun. But we also know it's going to have a lot of interference. It's going to be Big Bill. There's going to be Brian Keith. We're going to get the conglomeration, Kyle O'Reilly, Rocky Romero, Orange Cassidy, all coming in and interfering because there's no DQ. There's no DQ. And maybe even FTR because they're friends with Mark Briscoe. So it's like, okay. But next week it is official. Ladder war, ladder match, the ROH World Championship. Also, Kyle wasn't there to remind Mark to give us our word of the week. We got no word of the week. A little disappointed in that one. I look forward to our Mark Briscoe word of the week. Elite, I didn't do a Jericho impression. I did a Mark Briscoe impression. I don't know how you can get the two mixed up. Speaking of FTR, they had a match against Big Bill and Brian Keith. The match had a number of sponsors to it, which was to raise money for Hurricane Helene relief victims, which was awesome to hear that they did. Awesome. Keith and Harwood opened things up, with Keith getting the early takedowns before Harwood quickly fights back with chops and a snap suplex. Now, dial it back for a second. With this match being to raise money for Hurricane Helene victims, kind of was just like, oh, well, we know FTR can't lose that. So the whole match, you're just sitting here, just waiting for FTR to win. Like, the match wasn't bad or anything, but it was just, we knew the outcome. It was too predictable. We knew even how predictable it's going to be. There's not going to be a swerve. So it's just like, yeah. Nigel McGinnis on commentary talked about Bryan Danielson's career being over for now, he said, which is an important thing to mention. Wheeler and Bill then tagged in, and Bill used his size early to take advantage. Wheeler escapes some snake eyes, fires back off a drop kick, and Bill is ping-ponged between FTR until Bill manages a boss man slam to gain control and go to a break. Harwood makes the hot tag when things return, hits a short arm lariat, flattening Keith, but Bill no-sold it and dropped Harwood with one of his big boots. Harwood then fought off a powerbomb, allowing Wheeler to fly off the top with a crossbody. Bill avoided a shatter machine at one point and hit a last ride on Harwood and launched Wheeler over the top. At one point, Wheeler hit a tornado DDT off the apron out onto the outside where Big Bill was. Back inside, there was a double down from FTR that led to a shatter machine, and then they pinned Brian Keith to pick up the victory. So there we go. Big win for FTR in a very special match. Then we see Rush, Drilistico, and the Beast Mortos are watching backstage. The Outrunners then make their way out. Huge ovation. They go and celebrate with FTR. And that's really it. They do the Predator, double handshake, pose down with FTR, and that's it. But why were Rush, Drilistico, and Mortos LFI watching? And anyone see Jake Roberts anywhere? I didn't. So Amy gets backstage with the Acclaimed and Daddy Ass, who say, what's next after beating MXM Collection? They say, oh, going to the gym because they're body guys. Gunn then leaves to go get their car. Bowen says, everybody loves the Acclaim. And Caster said, they're coming off another big pay-per-view win. They want more. MVP then walks up. He and Shelton say, hey, give us a call if you're serious about that more. And I'm like, oh. So MVP just out here recruiting all the black guys, basically. Like, okay, cool. Hurt Syndicate don't need to be no more than MVP, Bobby. What Hurt Syndicate should be is MVP, Bobby, Shelton, and one young guy. That new Cedric. The one young guy is what they need. And then we're good. We're golden. We don't need to overpopulate this group. And so MVP going out here and trying to, I guess you could say, recruit everybody, a little overkill in my opinion. Bowen says that they don't need anything from him. But Max Caster did take the card, stick it in his pocket for safekeeping. Something to keep an eye on. I don't think they break up the Acclaimed, but could we see Max Caster try to persuade old Anthony Bowens? Maybe we do need to go with MVP. I don't think so, because that would totally change the Acclaimed, and then they'd be even more deader than they are now. The Acclaimed as suits ain't gonna work. Ain't gonna work. Then we have Mercedes Moné versus Queen Aminata. Non-title match. It was there. It was okay. Like, literally, the match starts. Queen Aminata's very distracted. What? She's distracted by Camille as soon as the bell rings, allowing Monet to try a springboard arm drag, but Amanada put the brakes onto it, and then she mocked Mercedes. After an exchange of pin attempts, Amanada caught a crossbody into a fallaway slam. Camille then saves Monet from a baseball slide, so Amanada popped her with a headbutt. The distraction here, though, was enough for Monet to slam Amanada into the steps and then hit a meteor as we go to a break. It was all Monet during the break until Amanada mounted a comeback with a rolling air raid crash for a 2. She almost hit a code red. She got a 2 off of it. The code red didn't look all that great. That's why I say almost hit a code red, because it didn't look like a full code red. Anyways, she did a violent-looking swinging fisherman's neck buster. Mercedes folded up like a pretzel here. Amanada hit a rolling cradle. Got another near fall. Then she kind of just didn't do something for a moment. I don't know if she got lost or whatnot, but she took too long to follow up. Mercedes hit a meteor out of the corner. It looked awkward. She then hit an awkward-looking backstabber, bank statement, or the statement maker, what they're calling it now, and she won with submission. So Mercedes wins by submission. Match wasn't all that great. A little clunky there at the end. And not everything looked all that smooth. Rape gets backstage, private party. And they literally say, hey, Young Bucks, can we get another title shot? Okay, now, if there was controversy like Jack Perry got involved or Okada got involved and screwed you guys, get it. Got it. Ask. It wasn't clean. It wasn't fair. It wasn't... No, it's not what happened. Young Bucks just straight up beat you guys. No problem. But why should they just give you a rematch? No, I get it. Mark Briscoe's giving Jericho straight up rematch after he beat Jericho. But there's a lot of tomfoolery and chicanery, and he says he still wants to fight Jericho more for his brother's honor because he brought up his dead brother. That's a different story. There's no interference. There was no Elite helping the Bucks. Bucks won clean at the pay-per-view, the Wrestle Dream event. So it's like, no. You guys just look dumb for asking. Earn it. Even though I think there is a chance they just get it. Matthew said that he was wrong, saying that they weren't a mid-card act. They pushed them to their limit. Nicholas said, that doesn't work for us, brother. They're the last team that's going to get a shot. Bucks walk off. Stokely walks up and was like, you guys might need me. He's like, hey, I can help you out. You deserve another shot. They've been here. He literally goes, they've been here since the Obama administration. I'm like, what? It suggests the next time they lose, private party should be done. After I said everyone knows Quinn is the star of the team anyways. And he walks off. And Zay said, that's what it takes. That's what it takes. Really, I don't think they're breaking up because their team with Daniel Garcia in a trios match next week. But it's like, what? So if they lose their next big tag match, they're going to break up? So this is them breaking up private party? We saw what happened when Quinn was gone and Isaiah had to be on his own. He didn't do well. And then they just kind of shoehorned him in with Matt Hardy for a little while. And he was like, what? Doing nothing. So it's like, not a fan of this one. Teasing a breakup. So they're backstage with Jack Perry. So they need to handle business before their match tonight. As today is Kenny Omega's birthday. Perry said he understands Omega has had 20 feet of his intestine removed after they laid him out. They show a birthday cake, says happy birthday, Kenny. But then Jack Perry grabs like a cooler or whatever and he dumps intestine onto the cake. Okada then says, happy birthday, bitch. Perry then tells Omega, get well soon or die. I don't care. We're getting that Kenny match, and I think we're getting it at Wrestle Dynasty. Kenny said that he would like to team with Tanahashi at Wrestle Dynasty and face the Young Bucks. Young Bucks appeared on the Kings of Pro Wrestling show this past weekend and said, we will be at Wrestle Dynasty. We will have our first match in Japan in 5 years. So is it the tag match? Is it the Young Bucks versus Omega and Tanahashi. I could see it being that. Or you make it a trios match. You make it a 6-man. You add Okada over to the Elite side, and you add Kota Ibushi to the Omega side. Then there's a lot of things in play there. It's the Golden Lovers versus the Young Bucks. The first big main event for New Japan in the United States when they ran that first show in Long Beach. You got Okada versus Tanahashi. There's just so many things that play in that trios match, that 6-man. Plus, it being a 6-man, a trios, less Kenny has to do in his first match back. There you go. Also, speaking of Kenny back, Kota Ibushi actually said last week, I think it was, Kenny may only be 2 to 3 months off from his return. So there's a lot to look at here when it comes to this tease tonight in specific, as far as Kenny Omega potentially returning at the start of the year. Remember, Wrestle Dynasty in the Tokyo Dome in Japan, January 5th. Speaking of trios matches in the Elite, well, they had one tonight against the Conglomeration. Action-packed party match, I guess you would call it. Gunn and O'Reilly wasted no time picking up from where their scuffle backstage at Wrestle Dream left off as they traded forearms into big boots from Okada. This then brought in Nicholas. Blind tag from Cassidy led to a double team with O'Reilly on the Bucks until Okada just ran them all down, leaving Rocky to snap off a Hurricane Rana. Conglomeration hit a series of dives, but as things went to break, the Elite regained control with a triple slingshot senton in a pose, isolating Cassidy. Back from the break, Cassidy battled back using the Bucks on each other as weapons before trying a sunset flip on Okada, who flipped him off. O'Reilly tagged in and quickly took the fight to Okada yet again with a combo of kicks and kitchen sinks on Matthew. Nicholas fired off super kicks, but O'Reilly hit the Nigel comeback lariat. O'Reilly avoided a rainmaker into a guillotine, but Matthew hit a top rope elbow mid-move for a 2. There's a triple charge in the corner from the Elite as Okada hit an air raid crash neckbreaker for a 2. Ramiro was in with his forever clotheslines. He tries to go for a slice spread on Okada, but he counters it into a tombstone. At one point, the Bucks are inside with O'Reilly. They pump up the kicks. It take too long as O'Reilly slowly walks to Cassidy to make the tag. Double snap Hurricane Rana on the Bucks and a stun dog millionaire on Okada. As a high-low with O'Reilly is here to follow. The Bucks are then in with a super kick party, but Rocky is in with a spinning slice spread on Nicholas. Matthew was spiked by Cassidy's DDT as he went for the orange punch. Wheeler Yuta, of all people, would then run in with the Busaku knee. The match, I guess you would say, ends in a DQ, but I didn't hear an official word on that from the ring announcer, so I don't know. The Bucks then retreat. They run up the ramp and just watch as Moxley, Marina Shafir, Claudio, and Pac all come down as well. Pac with a briefcase in hand. I think maybe it's got the AEW World title in it, but we don't know. We don't know. So they're beating up Orange Cassidy 4-1. O'Reilly just disappears. Rocky disappears. Top Flight and Accident Andretti then run down to try to make the save, but they also quickly get destroyed. The Elite again watch from the ramp. All three going, oh, what's going on? What are we seeing? Oh, crap. Like, just eyes popping out of their heads. Dark Order then try to run down. They ain't any help either. Jack Perry's then out. And Jack Perry was out and brought the Elite to the back like, hey, come on, let's go. We watched long enough. We don't need to be involved in any of this. So that's an interesting wrinkle to all of this. The Elite just watched. There's more to the Elite thing here in a moment. Claudio then took off Alex Reynolds' belt, and Shafir choked him with it against the ring post, basically hanging him for a moment, as they then took the steel steps and squished him between the ring post and the steps. Moxley then grabbed a mic and said, if you're involved in AEW in any shape or form, well, you're under attack and you're against us. And if you don't like it, this is the cost of doing business. They then just leave. They then just leave to the crowd. They're gone. Now here comes Danny Garcia. Now here comes Private Party. Christopher Daniels running out to check on everybody. Nigel says, well, he doesn't support the elite not doing anything. Smarter minds prevailed tonight. And they didn't end up like the others. Again, very interesting that the elite just watched. Didn't try to stop them. Didn't try to get involved. Didn't try to do anything. So we go to the back, and Arcadior is running down the elite going, hey, what was all that out there? What happened? Garcia and Private Party run and storm up on the elite. And like, you're EVPs. You got power. Why don't you do anything? What's going on? And the elite, they just try to leave. And Nicholas was like, due time. Garcia was just like, this can't stand. You know, you guys need me. I got your backs at any time. And they're like, hey, we got you too. We got you too. So it was announced later in the show that Daniel Garcia will team with Private Party to take on the elite next week. Let me double check. Is that Okada or Jack? I can't remember. It is Jack and the Young Bucks. Because I think we're leading to Private Party getting that rematch and Daniel Garcia getting a shot at the TNT title. Which I think that could be a really good match. Daniel Garcia and Jack Perry for the TNT title. I think that could be a really, really good match. So then we had a debut. Well, an in-ring debut. Oh, Shelton Benjamin. Benjamin versus Lio Rush. Loud ovation for Benjamin during his entrance. There's dueling chants to start the match for both men. It was kind of a size versus speed thing. Rush tried using a misdirect, but Benjamin mowed him down with a tackle. Rush again battled back with his speed, sending Benjamin to the floor, trying a dive, but Benjamin hit a step-up knee using the apron. An overhead throw slammed Rush as things went to a break, with Benjamin in firm control. During the break, Rush was launched to the floor out of the corner at one point, but managed to battle back with a low bounce-back stunner. Benjamin was sent to the outside, with Rush following up with multiple low dives. Back inside the ring, Rush then leapt up with a cutter before heading to the top, rolled through a frog splash, and Benjamin fired off a spinning comeback kick. Rush flipped out of a T-bone suplex, spun, and hit an enziguri and a spinning DDT that spiked Benjamin for a 2. Rush then took way too long to go to the top and allowed Benjamin to scale the ropes and hit a massive superplex. The crowd popped loud as a released German led to another before a super kick connected very flush on the jaw. Benjamin looked phenomenal here. Benjamin versus Lio Rush was a great match. There's an awkward-looking pop-up flatliner that led to an exploder T-bone suplex, and the finish was Shelton Benjamin picking up the win. MVP then hands his business card to Lio Rush, basically saying, call me. You need representation. MVP then said that Rush opened his mouth, so Benjamin made it a point, to close it. MVP can't make a better statement than what Benjamin just did, but we'll say, Swerve Strickland, he knows we're watching. Strickland needs to reconsider his position, as this is his future. MVP said that they need to finish what they started at Wrestle Dream with Shelton Benjamin. And we do know that in 2 weeks' time, at Fright Night Dynamite on October 30th, we will be seeing Shelton Benjamin versus Swerve Strickland in a match. And I'm a betting man saying that's where we get Bobby Lashley. That's where we get Bob Lashley. Speaking of Swerve, he's backstage being interviewed by Renee. Fritz Nana's there as well. Strickland said that it was impressive what Benjamin did to Lio Rush. Strickland said he accepts their challenge anywhere. Just make it happen. Strickland tells Benjamin not to fail when it comes to him, though. And then he asks the crowd, whose house? Swerve's house. So then we get the Don Callis family press conference. And hey, look, there's another motherfucker in Don's group. We just randomly adding people. He got Lance Archer a couple weeks ago due to a trade. Now he's just got ROH television champion Brian Cage. what? And says, got these two big guys and I want them to bring me the tag titles. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. He just said tag titles. Didn't say Ring of Honor. Didn't say AEW. So, I don't know. Anywho. Don's out here talking about these guys, how they're going to make a big splash. Callis then brings out the two men who've been talked about all over the world this week. The new AEW International Champion, Konosuke Takeshita, and Kyle Fletcher. Callis said the Alpha and himself are going to every corner of the globe to defend that title and really make it international. Takeshita said that he'll defend his title all over the world. And if you want it, come take it. Now, we do know this Saturday he will be fighting Speedball Mike Bailey in Canada for the first show of Maple Leaf Pro. And an interesting note here, though. At one point, there was a graphic and an advertisement, international title on the line. But then yesterday, international title not on the line. It's an eliminator match, so I don't know what happened there. Fletcher then takes the mic. And god dang, does this guy just sound like a character out of Naruto, the way he was yelling. Why, Kyle? Why? That's the problem. Everyone talking about Will Ospreay. Sounds like a fucking character out of Naruto. Fletcher won't say why he did what he did. Too bad. Callis said, the family has never been stronger than they are today. So the family is now Lance Archer, Brian Cage, Kyle Fletcher, and Konosuke Takeshita. That's the family now. It's just an ever-changing, rotating door in and out kind of thing. Like, come on. What? And that's my worry with MVP. That he doesn't get too many guys and then just kick guys out and bring guys in and kick guys out and bring... Like, that's my thing with MVP. Keep it small, keep it simple, keep it steady. Got another interview backstage with Renee Paquette. She's interviewing AEW Women's Champion Mariah May. She said, I'm upset. Everyone was drooling over Willow Nightingale at Wrestle Dream. And why the woman she killed now gets covers of a magazine. Talk about Toni Storm being on the cover of PWI Women's 250. She said she's never gotten her celebration. Mina Shirakawa is still in Japan and Britt Baker faked an injury to get away from me. Under Rosa, she's out doing whatever she wants. Who will step up? Christopher Daniels, what are you even doing? May said that AEW isn't where the best wrestle. It's where they are afraid of the glamour. Anna Jay then storms in and gets right in her face. She's like, oh, you want someone to fight with? You got me. And then like Christopher Daniels runs in and gets in between them. And she tries to go at Anna Jay, and Christopher Daniels is like, no, we ain't doing that. And then one of them calls the other a bitch. Christopher Daniels is like, hey now. And then she like grabs the chin of Anna Jay, Mariah May that is. So Anna Jay holds back. Bah! And she accidentally slaps Christopher Daniels when Mariah May ducks and runs out. She's like, Chris, I'm so sorry. He's like, it's okay. I get it. Yeah, we're good. So I think at Battle of the Belts, in a eliminator match, if I'm correct, Anna Jay versus Mariah May. Not for the title, an eliminator match. And here's my question. Why do some people just get title matches and then others have to do the eliminator thing? Why? Don't get it. Like last week, Emi Sakura hadn't won a match in AEW in a year and a half, just got a TBS title shot. Just got it. But then Anna Jay here, who just won a match last week at the pay-per-view against Harley Cameron, has to go an eliminator? This shit's ass backwards. And it's been for a while. All of a sudden, first off. I missed something here. I skipped too far ahead. My bad. Commentary's talking about the Fright Night Dynamite. They say Swerve versus Shelton is official. Renee again. A lot of Renee backstage stuff. Like, Renee working double time this week. It was weird. Backstage Ricochet. Basically, he said that he was maybe too focused on Will Ospreay instead of winning the triple threat. I'm like, really? because you guys just teamed up a bunch. Anyways, Ricochet said, "Oh no. No, yeah, that's what it was. I wrote my stuff wrong." He then said that he wants to go after Takeshita. He wants to get the international title, and he's got unsettled business, basically. Said he hasn't been beaten since being in AEW, which is technically true. Yeah, you could say he lost the triple threat, but he didn't get pinned. He said, to be the best in the world, you don't need lackeys behind you. So he challenges Takeshita to show up on Collision, and he wants to go for the title. Then you go back to commentary, and they're talking for a moment about I don't even remember what, until they're like, we got to send him to the back. There's chaos. So they send him to the back. The BCC are attacking the Dark Order. Top Flight. Action Andretti jumps off a big old crate of something. He takes a couple people down. They grab them. They throw them all around. They're beating the shit out of these guys. And then Wheeler jumps in the back of the truck. Claudio and Pac jump into the front to drive. Marina jumps in the back of the truck. Mox finally jumps into the truck. Wheeler smacks the window like, let's go. Truck goes to drive off. And then John Silver runs after the truck, and the crowd just, they start laughing. They start laughing. Whose idea was that? Was it old Johnny Hungy? Or was it Tony Khan? Or was it somebody else? Because the biggest reaction the BCC stuff got tonight was that laugh. And I don't know if that was what they wanted. You don't want this very serious takeover, beatdown storyline angle segment to be thought of in the end of a comedy angle. Because that's what everyone's going to remember. Old John Silver running after the truck. Then they try to get serious with it. The camera comes back, and it's Evil Uno. And he told them, you know, Dark Order has been here since day one and works for AEW. Doesn't matter where or when. If the BCC want to fight, they'll give it to them. And I'm like, again, it's the nWo versus WCW all over again. Exactly what we're getting. Because the whole storyline was these outsiders are coming in. These guys that have not been here since the beginning are taking out the guys that have basically been here since the beginning. So, yeah, we're literally just redoing the nWo. It's the nWo! Top Flight then took the camera, said BCC are going to have to go through them if they want to make a change. And it's Top Flight and Action Andretti who make a challenge to the BCC on Collision. And I'm like, okay, we got these guys that want to stand up for the company. All well and good. But they're guys that never freaking win. They're loser guys. Like, they're not losers in real life per se. But perception-wise, in storyline, they're guys that lose all the time. They're guys that can never really win matches. That can never really get a dent in onto their opponents and this and that and whatnot. So it's like, why are we supposed to think these guys, these six, are the saviors of all elite wrestling? And I think right before this, they were talking about, yes, I remember now what the commentary was talking about. They're talking about Darby and how no one's been able to get in contact with Darby since WrestleDream and everything that went down with Bryan. So they also tell us that Darby's got an autographed 8x10 on sale to help raise money for the Skate Park Foundation or the Skate Park Fund, whatever Tony Hawk's thing is. Really cool. But yeah, that's the other thing. It's like Darby's going to ultimately, I think, be the savior, the one that stops Moxley, takes the title, becomes a champion, and is the overall, you know, end all be all that we kind of never got with the nWo story. We never got, I mean, kind of DDP, I guess. DDP was that guy, I guess, that never turned, that never went with them, that was always trying to do the right thing in favor of WCW. I don't know. But, yeah. It's going to be Darby in the end. I don't know when. I don't know how long we got to wait. But we'll see. We have our main event. Christian Cage for Switchblade Jay White. This was, you know, not what I expected. It worked more of a Christian match here. A slower pace. Kind of more methodically laid out kind of match. Cage immediately took some powder, but ultimately we got an extended lockup. until White dropped Cage with the chop. Hard corner buckle from Cage as White sank in a Muda lock, but Cage got to the ropes. Nick tried sliding in a chair, but Juice Robinson and Colton Gunn took it away, and the ref saw them with it. Thought they were going to use it, and, well, kicked them out. So as they're getting kicked out, Nick Wayne's like, hey, bye-bye. I could stay, but you got to go. Robinson and Colton then attacked and dragged him to the back with them. And then Mother Wayne kind of just followed. We went to a commercial break here. Coming back, Cage was in control. White starts mounting a comeback off of a slugfest and a backdrop. There's 15 corner punches that led to White putting Cage's shirt over his head and firing off some chops, and then a DDT for a 2. At one point, there was a tornado DDT inside the ring for a 2 by Cage. He then signaled for a spear, only for Kip Sabian, of all people, to appear and run distraction. Cage managed a sunset flip for a 2. And Hangman then would show up running to the ring. And I'm like, oh, okay. Then I think he may have came out too early because then he kind of like slowed himself down and kind of just camped down on the floor. It was weird. Cage then hung up White again over the top rope, but charged, and White countered into a Uranagi for a 2. Cage then gouged the eyes to get out of the Blade Runner and hit a kill switch, but White kicked out. Cage opted for trash talk, but ran into a flatliner. White then wanted a German, but opted for Saito suplex instead. White with the suplex into a corner as he set up Cage in the corner, but Cage fought off of a superplex, leading to a top rope headbutt for a 2. Kip Sabian again ran some distraction for the ref as White tried a Blade Runner, but Page flew in with a buckshot, allowing Cage to make the cover, go for the win, and pick up the victory. Page just kind of laid like a mannequin. And okay. So we're still getting more Hangman and Jay White. Okay. Cool. So yeah, Cage then held up his contract and was like, I'm going to win the world title one day. Yee! It was all right. It was fine. Hangman can never, I guess his story is he can't let anything go. He lost to Jay White at the Wrestle Dream event, and now he wants revenge. But with that was AEW Dynamite. Let's get the poll up here on Twitch. What did you think of Dynamite? Liked it. It was all right. I didn't like it. All right, if you are watching on Twitch, the poll is live. So while we let you guys vote for that, let's see if we have Rampage spoilers yet. I'm not seeing any yet. Let's see. Let's check one other site. Here we go. Let's get the spoiler graphic up there. All right. This Friday is AEW Rampage on TNT. The show was filmed tonight in San Jose, California. We have spoilers for you, so got the spoiler tag up here. If you don't want to be spoiled, you can just mute the video, mute the stream, and then when the spoiler tag goes off, you'll know we're done talking Rampage. We'll give you a 5-second countdown, and then we'll give you all the spoilers. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Tony Khan came out and made a Time Cop reference, apparently, to the live crowd. We then had Ring of Honor champion Mark Briscoe take on the Butcher. He did win this match with a froggy bow. Kyle O'Reilly defeated Aaron Solo in a match. Aaron Solo is actually a competitor. Aaron Solo from the area. O'Reilly then called out Kazuchika Okada, saying that he wanted what Okada had. He also wants to fight him for Battle of the Belts. Anna Jay would then take on, it says the Infantry. I assume that's Trisha Dora. It's weird. It just says Anna Jay defeated the Infantry. And these spoilers do come from PW Insider. I assume that's Trisha Dora. She's part of the Infantry in Ring of Honor. After the match, AEW Women's Champion Mariah May cut a promo saying at Battle of the Belts, Jay would be crying and screaming her name. Also, Private Party defeated MXM Collection. So those are the spoilers for this Friday's AEW Rampage that was filmed tonight, Wednesday, the SAP Center in San Jose, California. All right, so as far as the polls do go, looking at the Threads poll, everybody that voted liked the show. Over here looking at the Twitter X poll. Wow. 50% didn't like tonight's Dynamite. Holy shit. 33% did like the show, and 16% thought it was just... Whoop. Things are changing. We got another vote. A couple more votes. 57% didn't like tonight's Dynamite. Oof. 28% did like the show. And 14% thought it was just all right. God dang. Not the same over here on YouTube. YouTube community poll. 65% liked the show. 21% thought it was just all right. And 14% didn't like it. Person says, I'm missing Tony. A much better product. And Tony Storm, that is. Tony with an I, not a Y. Tony Storm. A much better product on TV when she's there. In the ring or doing awesome promos. I mean, that's personal preference. You just must be a really big Tony Storm fan. As far as the live poll does go here on YouTube, 68% liked the show, 23% thought it was just all right, and 9% didn't like it. Finally, everybody that voted on Twitch did like the show. So with that, guys, that is going to wrap everything up. I want to say thank you for joining me here. Twitch.tv/PW Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. With that, guys, have a great rest of your night. Have a great rest of your week. I'll see you back here live on Friday for Friday Night SmackDown. Have a good one, guys.